that's the biggest question. We all want, everybody on earth wants to achieve well-being. That's pretty clear. In some countries we have a pretty high level on average, which does not mean that it is true for everybody, but we have a pretty high level on average of well-being as we define it today. But it is at the expense of a huge consumption of resources, which makes actually that sustainable development, the idea of combining both well-being and sustainability, well-being and harmony with the biosphere, is for now an oxymoron. Because if you look into the details, you will see that the kind of well-being we have today is related to, the high level of that well-being is related to high consumption of resources and hence to high ecological footprint. And vice versa, if you see low levels of ecological footprints, you typically have low levels of well-being. I think there are several approaches to that issue, and in particular to the question of decoupling. One is for sure that we can change our incentives in the system we have. Basically, we are paying not enough for resources, for energy and other material resources. They are pretty cheap, taking into account the externalities and the environmental costs. The use of energy and material resources is pretty cheap, so we use a lot of them. And we want, the system, the dynamic as it works today, provides for more use of that and less of human work, which is another issue. So maybe taxing much more the resources and taxing less human work would help to change the incentives inside the framework in which we are. Beyond that, I definitely think that we have to rethink what do we understand by well-being. Does it have to be so connected to material resources, so to changing our mobile phone every 2 years, to change our car, to have a private car, and to change from car every 3 or 5 years? Is this an essential element of human well-being, or is that only in a purely consumerist framework? So I think we have to redefine well-being and go beyond this consumerist way of life, and that's again a big challenge which has to be played in the cultural domain, in the cultural field, rather than in policy making or elsewhere.